to Thursday, everybody. We're so excited you could be here. And I have with me here Letty and Gio, and they're going to lead the discussion today as we talk about watercolors that we can use for painting stone texture, jewelry, rocks, etc. And so we're going to go through all the different brand ambassadors and see what everybody has planned for us today. So paint along, get out your paints. We want to see what you've painted at the end. So we'll leave a little bit of time at the end if you want to show what you've painted. So with that, I will hand the time over to Letty and Gio.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, welcome everyone to the new Thursday session. So today we will introduce the third of the selection, and you may find the tone in many shapes and combination again. You may use our Primatech colors just to paint directly with those tones. You may find now you may watch a selected slideshow of stone selection and texture painted by our brand ambassadors, and you may find all the inspiration you will need. Stone is finely represented in the nature landscape and also in urban landscape. You may find rock, mountains, river stone, underwater stone, stone balancing, so the stone one on another, the sand, marble fountains, marble top, decorative object, monuments made by big ancient stones, like for example Stonehenge, or other big stones. Also marble and buildings. You may find buildings made with large stones or simple bricks or marble slabs. And then you may paint also. You may find the jewelry stones like turquoise, black tourmaline. Oh, I have some in my box. Tiger's eye, garnet, emerald, bluestone. There are so many. So today we see some of these pictures. So Ethel can start the slideshow, and I can tell you who is the painter, who is our brand ambassador. Thank you. In the full presentation. So this is Saleh Ilkrus on the left and Alison Pinto on the right. Alvaro Castagnier on the left, Anders Anderson on the right. This is Angela Barbie from Spain. This is Angus McEwen. Thank you. This is Avelino from Brazil. This is Brenda Swenson. This is Caroline Dibble. On the left, Sydney Briggs. On the right, George Politis. This is Francesco Fontana. This is Giovanni Balzerani. This is Ian Stewart. This is Yamin. This is Jensen Cho. This is Jerome Guerri. This is Jorge Corpuña, the latest one. He painted this week. Jorge, fantastic. And on the right, you can recognize Joseph Bookbeach. This is the latest watercolor. And on the left, and on the right, his wife Lisa Wong. And then we have on the left Yungun Chung, and on the right Konstantin Terkov. This is Laurie McCracken. And this is Matthew Bird. On the left, Michael Soloviev. On the right, Milin Mulik. On the left, Mindam. On the right, Nicolas Lopez. On the left, Pablo Ruben. On the right, Paul Wong. This is Praful Hudekar. and Praful Savant. And then we have Raffaele Ciccaleni. And then we have Rajat. This is Sandor Sirkai. And this is Sanjay Desai. This is Sylvia Monge. This is Sylvia Trad. And then we have this one. Oh, sorry, I remember well the other one is Stella. Sorry, Stella. Stella Canfield. Sorry, Stella. But it's yours. And then we have a double Thomas Schaller because Thomas Schaller we think is the prince of the stones. So he paints everywhere. He paints anything with stones. And then we have the latest one. We have Thomas Fischera. Sorry, we missed it. Maybe Ethel, you can put it. It was in the on the latest slide after Thomas Schaller. There is Thomas, another in the vertical one. You don't find it?
This one.
Okay, Thomas Fischera. Thank you. And now there is Giovanni. We will explain how to do a texture with the stone, especially with the marble. So I had a book, a reference book, where I study the marbles and all the texture when I work as an architect. So this is one of my encyclopedia books.
Okay, thank you, my beautiful wife, and thank you to all. And this is a little selection to reproduce the marble and stone texture only with the sticks. And starting with this is a beautiful marble construction in the factory with the powder. And only the last two is a real stone, the two real famous stone in the world exported from Italy for all the world. And starting from this is a Azul Bahia, is the name. It's very, very, very interesting. And
it's a Brazilian marble.
It's Brazilian marble. And the reproduction in my okay, a little zoom, sorry. Okay. A reproduction only with the sticks. And this is the perfect sequence for obtain this texture. I started with the cerulean blue chromium first, Prussian blue the second. There is Mongolo for sodalite, and the last is French ultramarine. Only in this sequence obtain this beautiful texture. And continuous is one of the dark marble texture is called blue barracuda, and I experimented with the color with ivory black and buff titanium. The buff titanium after because power down the ivory black in this part and obtain this soft shade and a very, very beautiful marble with the beans. Another interesting marble, especially for this marble is used for the floor tiles, is a Colonial Dreams called, and starting with a shade, the little shade with a yellow ochre, the little point and beads with raw sienna, and the last point with ivory black. And continues with the diorite, is not a mineral or a stone, but is a marble, and obtained with lunar black. But in this case, don't use the granulation of the lunar black, only with little shade and apply with more strong with my brush, 2 level, and obtain this perfect texture. Another marble, but in this case in red color, is called India red, is similar to Azul Bahia, but in red, and starting with one shade with queen sienna, and continues with the point, in this case with the yellow ochre. And after connecting the two colors with the point with Piemontite, and applied another shade with burnt yellow ochre in all the square, and continues the dark point with ivory black. And another beautiful green marble is a tropical green called, and I obtained with a mix, in this case with phthalo green, yellow shade, and buff titanium, and obtained this very beautiful shade of green. It's a power of green, but it's very, very beautiful. And the obtained during the wet on wet statement, I obtained this part and the dot after with lunar black, and obtain this part and the dark shade. And continuing with the another beautiful white marble is called Yellow King, and starting with a little shade with aureolin, and then after mixing rosy and yellow ochre together for obtain the dark tones, and after this apply the yellow ochre for obtain this shade, and the dark tone is ivory black. And continue is the one of the most dark marble in the world is black Marquinia. Is only black. Is only black, and the Venus obtained with don't use the masking fluid, but obtain with the paper, and only ivory black in multiple layer. The last is called pink quartzite, and obtain mixing shade. This first is Rosian and buff titanium in the same quantity, but is the 30% color and 7% water. Obtain this light shade, and after this mixing this in equal part and 1 point of Piemontite. In this case, this is in my stone in my book, and this is my sample. And with Piemontite, with buff titanium, obtained this little dark shade for the dot and the beads. And the last two is the most famous in the world marble.
The king of marbles.
Is a Carrara marble. Is with titanium white, and during wet on wet, apply little 0.1% of ivory black and obtain the veins of Carrara marble. And the last is another famous in the world, is the Roman Travertino. Is a very stone for construction all the buildings, historical buildings in Rome and the Imperial Roman. Is a first shade with titanium white and mixing for the dark shade, titanium white and yellow ochre for multiple layers, and obtain this texture. This is my presentation for the texture, and enjoy with another brand ambassador. Thank you.
So,
okay,
let's welcome Sabina.
Go, Sabina, go.
So, hello, and thank you, Gio. It's an incredible work you do with the marbles. I love them much, and it's much of work. And so I go to the stones, and I get Primatex too. I have some swatches with Amazonite genuine and amethyst genuine. And I mix it with a little bit bloodstone. And the next one was Mayan blue and garnet with bloodstone. And then I used the Sleeping Beauty turquoise with rhodonite genuine. And with a little bloodstone, you see I love bloodstone. And then I turned to Tiger's Eye genuine and Jadeite genuine, and I love it much. I love the jadeite because the special trees in Switzerland are exactly that colors. And so I go in thinking girls just want to have fun. And so I create some tools. This is, I look at a rhodonite stone and I create that tool. And then I think, okay, in Switzerland are much mountains. And so I create some mountains, but I show later. And with a little knife, when you make the Primatech color very thick, and you go with the knife like that, so you can create some stones and cliffs too. And with a little bit time, you can make some pebbles, little round stones you find in the water. And so I make it with exactly the colors. I make the swatches with Amazonite and Amethyst genuine, with Mayan blue and Garnet genuine, and Sleeping Beauty, and Rhodonite, and Tiger's Eye, and Jadeite. And so I just want to paint with you the mountains. And here I have a piece of paper, and you need some crashed paper like that. It's, I think, it's a cupboard in all form, a plan or something like that. And you must crash it. And here I have the colors. That's a Sleeping Beauty, Rhodonite, a little bit Tiger's Eye, and a little bit Jadeite. And here I mix these both together, and I go inside with the fresh paper. And I make some textures. Oh, okay. And that's enough. And we go with the brush. And now we go and make the sky. Let's go negative. Think positive and throw negative. That's the motto tonight. And you see, just some minutes you have wonderful sky, little bit more water, and you have snowy hills and mountains.
That's such a great trick. I love it, Sabine.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And it's, you don't must be afraid at mountains. When you use it, it's every time it's just a winning plan. When you go with crushed paper inside, so you can, that nothing can go wrong. And now you use just a little bit dry brush to create some more textures and a little bit more gray. And a little bit more dark here on that point. And here we must make it a little bit more lighter. And what's the time? Do I have a little bit time, or must we go to another
10
one?
minutes.
And then we can go a little bit more cream. So we can go in the tiger's eye and can
Wow.
create some hills. And here we go with them.
Okay, we can go to Anamarie and then we can come back to you later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's amazing, Sabina. You pulled a mountain range out of a piece of paper in 3 minutes. There it is.
Yes, I was about to say that too, Anne-Marie.
I appreciate being able to watch each of the previous brand ambassadors and looking forward to the next ones of seeing how we each are skilled and gifted and celebrating each of our unique areas. You can see Giovanni's technical just discipline. It's amazing to see. I wanted to talk today a little bit about light. With light, we're talking about color, and each stone reflects light and the color of the sky in the context that we're in. So the painting I have here is 20 identifiable locations in the town I was born and grew up in. So this is Jerusalem. And I wanted to represent all three faiths and bring a unifying communication of peace. And each location is personally significant to myself. So it's not just a touristy location, but each of these are very personal. And the city of Jerusalem is made out of Jerusalem stone, which is dolomite limestone, and is quarried locally, which is beautiful and has been used since ancient times. And when the golden hour, the sun in the evening and the morning hits the city, it shines golden. The whole city, because the whole city is made out of this limestone that shines. So I know a lot of people are talking about textures today, but I wanted to talk about color with stone and how the stone reflects the color of the sun and reflects the color of the atmosphere, and to not be afraid of that. Because in this context, the colors that I used were ultramarine blue, Hansa yellow light, raw sienna, and burnt sienna, and trying to make it glow the golden color. And then I've observed in the opportunities that I've had to live in different areas of the world that the angle of the sun is very, very different. And I imagine I see the colors coming out of England, and I see that it's a very different color scheme than what I've seen in the Middle East, than what I've seen in the Midwest, or what I've seen in Africa. And I wanted to encourage each of you to be able to sit and meditate on the color that you're perceiving that's being reflected from the stone, because each palette is going to be different based on your location and your latitude. And just wanted to encourage you that when we're painting stone, we're not just painting texture and granulation, which I absolutely have in there, but we're also painting the sunshine and the reflected light and color that is unique. Thanks for the 3 minutes.
So we go to Sylvia. Sylvia is ready.
Yeah.
So Sylvia is here. And
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anamarie. Fantastic words. And I agree with you totally. Each place in this world has a different color because of the light. It's amazing. Okay, let's talk a little bit of stones. And these are some studies, but I want to show you two different styles. This is a wet on wet, and I painted the rocks with the white of the paper. Okay, so just a little stroke here and there, and the texture is there. Another example is the porcelain, which is a stone as well. And I painted this. It's very difficult to paint because it's white and you have to, give volume and shape and wow, I forgot the shining of the piece. So this one are antique stones. And yeah, I'm here as a special stone that we have here in Brazil in one historical and colonial town. It's called Paraty. And we have this kind of stones in the streets. So you can't walk without a sneaker. You can't wear any other kind of shoes. So it's very interesting. But I want to show you a tip. Once I was teaching how to paint these stones, and a student who is always with us here, I don't know if she is today, Marcy. She asked me, "Don't you like sandstone for the stones?" And I said, "I have never tried." And then I tried and I loved it. So thank you, Marcy. And I want to show you how beautiful it is because it gives a little shine here. You see, I don't know if it is possible to see, but it's very natural. And while I was waiting, I tried to mix with the extra fine painting, and I liked more the result because here I just covered on top, and here I mixed the luminescent color with the extra fine color, and it's so subtle and so amazing. I will try to show you. Here is the mix. It's burnt sienna, hematite burnt scarlet, a little bit of French ultramarine, and the sandstone. Now, my paper is a rough paper. I put some mask here. Let's see if a little bit more of the sandstone. As it is rustic, antique stones, we can paint many colors. Like, I like to paint a very light base, first layer for the stone, and then after add the texture. So I drew a bit, and now a little bit more of shining here and there. Now it appeared. My paper is textured, so we can, and then you just, start creating the texture, like I'm like this, or adding more color, whatever you think it is. Now I did so many times as that I have in my head the shape of the stones, their color, this kind of European stones. So, but the interesting here is when it dries, the effect of the luminescent color. Because when you mix with the other extra fine mixture, the light, the shine, sorry, is very, very subtle. So I don't know if I still have time, but if I don't, I will keep painting here, and then you come back later to see the results, okay? Anyway, now I'm adding a little bit of shade here while it's still wet.
Sylvia, in the questions, we have a request from Lucy for you to hold the stone swatches up to the camera. So we look forward to the chance to do that when you've had a
Okay,
chance to. Thank you.
let me see. Wow, it's not, I don't feel like it's, let's see if this, it's difficult to show you in the camera, but this is dry. Can you see the shining here? It's not, it's subtle. It's just a little bit because it has to be just a little bit, like the stones. When the sun hits the stone and that light shines pieces of the compounds of the stone. That's what I want here. I don't know if it's, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish the camera could show.
I would like to
Yeah,
mention that even without seeing the shimmer, the color of the paints themselves show. They're very beautiful, even if we can't
yeah.
see that shimmer
You
right here.
see? Yeah, shimmer. Sorry. I said shine. But yeah, when it starts to, to dry, but yeah, it's difficult to show because of the light. Anyway,
Sylvia, I think you're speaking to the subtlety of what you're doing, that our eyes catch it, but the camera cannot.
oh
Giovanni's
yes.
sharing some really nice images that are stronger, so the camera catches the shine, but
Oh,
what
great.
you're communicating with us is the subtlety. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I hope you can try. Everybody can try. So if you can't see, try because it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like stones, real stones, and the sun shining. Oh my God. So thank you so much. You can go to another brand ambassador.
We'll invite Rajat now.
Yep. Hi there. So today there are a few colors. Let me just tell you that the name of this, there are 7 of these colors which we will be playing with it. Serpentine Genuine, Luna Black, Lavender, New Gambos, and of course Buff Titanium, Carbazole Violet, and Yellow Ochre. So I've done a quick sketch over here. So let me start with, so since we talk about today about the light and the compositions, so here I'm going to show some about the textures also, because the stone has got different textures as compared to other things. So And these are seaside granites. As in the beginning, Letizia and Ethel has showed a PowerPoint file where you have seen the paintings which I have done by me only. It's that was, although the size of the painting is pretty small because I'm doing in a sketchbook, but it requires certain amount of, to create this particular texture, you need some amount of time to create that because the texture is very important and it takes little time to create. Do let me know if I cross the time so that other brand ambassador can carry on and later on I can come back.
I think we can, for now, we can invite Caroline.
Yep, sure.
And we'll be back with you, Rajat, shortly.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay, Caroline.
Hi. Just getting my laptop ready. Okay.
It's a beautiful
Excuse the
sunlight
light on my
on your face.
The sun's just come up. It's tomorrow for all of you. It's Friday in Australia. And it's decided to shine on my face here in the particular setup that I've put in. But my desktop, we've put up a screen so you don't have that harsh light. I'm losing my images. I wanted to talk to you about being a rock artist. And we're a rock artist as painters with a paintbrush instead of an electric guitar. And it's just my absolutely most favorite subject to paint with. The idea of painting rocks from different environments, as many of you, including Anamarie, suggested that every environment has a unique colour. The colour then depicts its location. And for people that are from areas of certain colours, you recognise the painting immediately that it belongs to your zone. And painting rocks in your valleys, from your hills, from your rivers and streams and things like that, you become familiar with the colour tones and the variations if you're painting locally. But as I travel the world, I photograph rocks, mostly in water, from all over the world, and I have this wonderful collection of photos that I reflect on when I paint my rock scenes. But leading up to understanding rocks and understanding granulation and texture, in my classes in the last few weeks, we've been exploring the Primatex, and we've also been exploring the idea that many other colours in the Daniel Smith range also granulate. So it's not always about just the Primatex, but the mixtures of Primatex and the regular colours. So part of our journey has been swatching, which many of us do. It's a great activity. It's a great way to get to know your colours, your pigments, your paints, their behaviours, their nuances, the way they interact with each other, the push and the pull. And the only way to do and understand all of this is to actually do these colour charts and exercises with the colours you own, and you get really familiar with things that are in your toolbox. It also becomes apparent when you do these things if there's a specific colour range that you are missing. So then you're looking at adding to your folio something that is missing, rather than, as I often do, buy a lot of blue paint because I love blue. But when doing swatches like this, does highlight things that I am missing in my colour ranges. So I highly recommend that. But on our journey in our classes, we looked at rocks. We looked at different ways to paint the rocks and rocky mountains. We looked at Primatex just laid down and then scraped away to add light. We looked at going into all these different pictures we've been doing lately. We looked at how a snow scene can appear to be just a rocky mountain with light on the mountains, depending on the colour you put in the front and the colours you use in the picture, and changing that into a high country snow scene and removing a lot of the warmer colours out of it. You're changing the location of the colour ranges. Looking at mountains has been a really fun journey, and oh my gosh, absolutely love what Sabine just did, and I wish I had have known that about or thought about that in the last few weeks, because my students would have absolutely loved finding all those grains in the mountains by her simple technique. It was really clever. But ultimately, my journey as a rock artist, I hope the plastic doesn't do too much bad on this one. This is my journey. I love pebbles and rocks in water. I love seeing the interesting depth that you can create. I love flooding the page with the water as one of the glazes in the surface. So I'm then actually pushing the rocks into the water and seeing their lovely subtle suggestions hidden way down deep in the paintings. I also love doing oceanic scenes. So there is pebbles in every, oh, I've got so much sunlight here, it's not being very nice to us, is it? The pebbles in ocean rock pools are also a fabulous way of actually looking at finding pebbles in water. And the idea that a lot of pebbles in water are rounded, and that's because of the tumbling of the water and the ocean and the waves, forcing the pebble to be ground down by the natural motion of the tumbling of it in the water. So that always is something that, am I painting pebbles or am I painting rocks? I still think they're rocks. They've just been worn down a little bit. The other journey that I constantly go through is actually looking at the mixture of rocks and wood. And Angus McEwen often inspires me to explore the wood a lot more, even though I'm the rock artist. And different techniques of spraying, splattering, layering, glazing all come into the types of paintings that I do for that. I think there's not one person that doesn't admire the work of John Singer Sargent. So I did a series of exploring his technique using his colour palette. And these few were from that idea of water and rocks and the subtlety of the John Singer Sargent style. There's another one in his style. the soft colours that you can use. His favourite being Viridian. I never understood how beautiful it was until I painted this series using the John Singer Sargent palette, which is very, very cool. And then getting more dramatic with the rockscapes. I love rocks and all of their personalities and what they do for us. So I never, ever will exhaust me the subject of rocks. And then some of my more recent things in my classes have been looking at rocks in water, looking at how they flow, and looking at the different environments. So these were all based on photographs I took of Mossman Gorge up near Cairns, where I'm about to head to for the Australian Watercolour Muster. So they're areas of our beautiful tropical rainforests. And every year I enter works into different presentations and being selected often for my rock work. This is actually one of those pieces that was selected in the top 30 for the Australian Watercolour Muster 2 years ago. So rocks are my journey, my life, my lifeblood in my painting, and I encourage all of you to look at those. And then one last little book that I've been doing is I've got this wonderful Bauhong concertina book, and my journey is to fill this book. So slowly I've been doing these rockscapes, get that into the shadow, and filling my book with landscape scenes that include different ways I see rock formations, different colours of rock groups, different combinations and textures of looking at colour nuances together. And I just love it, just love rocks. So they will be a forever, ever, ever subject for me. No two paintings will ever be the same, and no individual technique is applied. Many, many different techniques to do different styles of landscapes with rocks in them is what I use. My recent ones being my snowy mountains, and even to the point there's some unfinished ones still in my book. So I hope I excite you all to paint rocks and to explore the beautiful colours that Daniel Smith had for the ability to produce really fun and exciting pictures from such a simple subject.
Yay. Thank you, Caroline.
You are welcome. Thank you for
I know
having
I
me.
sent a message to Ashley, but happy to see Buffy and Angela in the room. So just before we invite Ashley to reintroduce BAs who started earlier, we'll just have Buffy. Oh, okay. Now we have in frame Angela, and then we're going to go to Buffy.
Hey, Angela. Nice to see
hi,
you.
how are you? Sorry I'm late, but tomorrow I'm leaving for Australia, so I couldn't manage before.
How exciting.
Yes, see you in 2 days, huh? Yeah, I'm so excited to be there. And I missed part of your presentation, but I know you are an excellent artist with rocks. And I just will be very quick. I have a couple of paintings. I think that Leticia passed one of my paintings that has rocks at the bottom. Like, I think it's like similar to this one, right? This is a painting by this place is called Calella de Palafrugell in our coast. So I used dark colors here over. Yes, exactly. That's the one. Exactly. Thank you, Leticia. This is more improvised and less detailed, let's say. But in that painting, what I did was I used my penknife to mark different spaces, and with a thick color, then you can make the textures of the rocks. And then another one I like quite a lot is this one, done with this set. The set of New Gamboge, Manganese Blue, and Shadow Violet of the mini set. Which one is it? Is it the summer? I cannot remember. So I did this painting in
Wow.
with this set, and these are also the textures of the rocks. In this case, I use the granulation. You see, the mixture of shadow violet and new gamboge, and the granulation basically. I don't know if the image is clear. Is it clear? Yeah. So you can use multiple colors to do rocks. And then a more impressionistic I found is this one, using some white and some impressions, you know, here ultramarine and white at the bottom. This is not so defined. The most defined one is the one you have on top. So these are my paintings. I just wanted to say hello to everybody, and I won't be available, I suppose, next week, but thank you all for presenting these textures. Bye-bye. Oh, look at that.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna invite our I know like chatting. I was busy chatting with Ashley as to how we're gonna go with order. And I know Ashley's also playing with colors. So I just ask Ashley to share it as well. But yeah, after this, welcome Buffy. It's already looking great there. After Buffy, Ashley will then reintroduce each of the BAs, sort of to recap, and then we'll invite maybe two more. We still have time. Two more from our guests in Zoom. So over to you, Buffy.
Everybody, sorry I'm late today. I can't wait to watch the replay, but I had something that I thought would be really fun to share, and it's the evolution of an artist. So this was painted back in 2003. And so it's interesting to look back at your work and then how you evolved. And this, I actually used Crayola crayons to make a wax resist on the little rocks and salt. And you can just see I liked movement and mixed media all the way from the beginning. And this was quite a few years later. This was about 4 years ago. And this was using the mineral marbles dot card set that Daniel Smith has. So this was just using their dot card colors to play with all the little Primatex, which was a lot of fun. And then this one was done a couple years ago, and this one's actually in a Southwest show, which I was so excited to be included in. And then this one I actually did today. So you can kind of see the evolution and how I've become more and more abstract and more expressive, and how I approach rocks and shapes, and just the beauty of the Daniel Smith pigments really comes into play. The textures, the sediment, I mean, it's just so fun to play with. So I actually created a palette that I thought would be beautiful for making rocks. And it's where you take your oxide paints and your ultramarine paints and you mix them, and they paint the rocks for you. So it's the goethite and then the enviro-friendly yellow, red, and brown, the lunar red rock, French ultramarine, and the ultramarine turquoise. And I'm still trying to think of a name for it. So if any of you guys think of a cute name, because I like to name my palettes. But here you can see how they all just kind of pole position for their place on the paper. So really beautiful colors to experiment with. And then you just go in and you swatch it all out, and then you look for your little shapes and you just begin to shade them in. So anyways, thank you for letting me hop on really quick.
Thank you. It was wonderful. I love it.
Thank you, Angela.
Buffy, we're glad you could join us.
Me too.
Awesome.
Thank
you. All right, so just really quick, I wanted to kind of recap. We saw Giovanni's amazing textures. Is that chapter 2 in your book, Gio? We're trying to get Gio to write a book.
Yeah, it's a multiple.
Yes, we're going to book from Geo.
From the stone. This is, for example, it's tropical. This is another green. It's all the marble studying in here for the texture, for the consistency. It have many information with the size is the most big size for the available.
Because I need it for choosing the tiles and the floor and covering of my architectural project. That's why I need that book. And also other book.
And this is my example for it. For my interpretation. Is not perfect for my range, but is near close.
Very close.
Thank you. But it's important the sequence in this case for obtain this text. But because I change the sequence, it don't obtain this text. It's very, very important.
Thank you.
I have to share with you one of my absolute favorite sayings is that John Cogley takes rocks and turns them into paint, and we take paint and turn it into rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. A good quote. Yeah.
I love it. All right, now let's revisit Sabina's beautiful mountainscape with the snow. Sabina,
Yes, it's finished, and now I think Primatech is perfect to create stone, and I'm very happy to paint with minerals and stones. They are millions of years old, and that makes me very, very, very little when I think about that, and it make my heart warm, and my soul is glowing when I can paint with that stones, and that's very wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And I think I appreciate Anna's comment that every country have its own colors, and I think every soul have its own colors too.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much.
For sure.
love that. All right, Anamarie, let's see. We're all loving your comments about light and color because you're right. I used to be a photographer, and that is exactly right. That it's light we're capturing, and that contributes to color.
And how each location has its own stone form also. Moved here to North Italy. They were articulating the color of the stone steps is a local color, and it's a green jadeite color. Just seeing how we each have beauty in our own locations. Did I hear someone have a comment?
Well, this is Larry. I was going to say that it doesn't have to do with stones, although I'm enraptured with stones, and there are some stones in Italy that they've been stacked up in the wrong way, and they got cracked, and molds and stuff had gotten in between the layers of this marble and made these wonderful fingers like they would in your cheese. And then there are photographs of those, and they're very inspiring, very inspiring. But I was also going to say that when I was in San Diego, I saw leaves that would reflect the sky because they were very shiny, could reflect the sky because it was so blue, and the leaf was reflective, and there was so much beautiful light. Came here to Albuquerque, and they just reflect white, in spite of the fact we've got a very blue sky at 6,500 feet. So I don't know why that is, but that's another weirdness of light.
Have you tried looking in the golden hour, right at dawn?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I was also going to say that when I first got here, I sent some pictures that I painted for my daughter. The mountains here there's a lot of red in them. This is the Colorado Red Plateau area. And I paint the shadows in purple.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, why do you always paint in purple? Shadow, you're so purple. But it was the sky color on the shadows. And it was just beautiful.
Oh, thank you,
Be
Larry.
quiet, Larry. Be quiet, Larry.
No, we love it. We love it. You're awesome.
Be quiet, Larry. Be quiet.
Larry, I'm so glad to hear you share. I've seen you in the back many times. It's nice to hear you speak.
Daniel Smith ambassadors and hosts. Do you mind if I ask a question before we it's sort of off the target for the focus today? This morning I received a Daniel Smith Facebook post about it from somebody who was showing colors that she, I guess, had swatched for flowers. And one of the colors that she had, now I have just purchased a lot of Daniel Smith products, and in the new catalog, there's absolutely nothing about permanent brown. And she had the permanent brown tube, right next, and a swatch next to her swatches for the flowers. Do you know anything about that? And that's the only reason I'm asking, is I'm curious about this permanent brown.
It's a good question. Does anybody have an answer to that?
I spent a lot of time on
I do.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So here it is. It's you can see here, but it's in my so this is the corresponding and this is the permanent brown, and it's delicious. Go get it. It's just incredible. Well, all Daniel Smith colors are incredible, but it's
I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the 2025 catalog, which I just got 3 days ago.
Oh, really? Because I got it 5 years ago. So I haven't.
It's been a part of the.
Okay, I'll just go back and look again. Thanks a lot.
Oh, there's Giovanni. Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful reddish brown. It's so lovely.
Yeah, and it's rich.
Right.
It's really nice.
So
thank you all for letting me ask the question.
Even for sharing. And it's Mary who asked, go get that tube of permanent brown.
Yeah,
Does
just do
anybody have the pigment number for permanent brown?
Yeah, I'm just showing you in the catalog. It definitely is in the catalog in the brown area, two along from Luna Red Rock. Permanent brown.
You know the pigment number on that?
I'll look again.
PBR 25.
I do. It's PBR 25. And I got the swatch card here. Yeah. I should have brought it.
Thank you, Anna. That's so cool.
You're so organized, Anna Candela.
But
I'll look again. Thank you for being helpful.
That's why that's the beauty of our online community, actually. Like everybody's sharing.
And thanks for it was incredible.
Question.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys for everybody for being here. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else want to share? We're wrapping up here, but we'd love to see if anybody's painted at home. Anyone? I love Rajat's. What does Rajat have going on here? His rocks are done.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
That's fast, Rajat. It's the mini
That's the
version
reason I
of what
asked, yeah. So
what we showed
guys
earlier.
The Rajat is fine. Very nice.
Wonderful, Rajat.
Angela, I want to come take a vacation in that painting.
Why not?
Me too.
So welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah.
Come next month.
Okay, done. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love this community.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you very much for following us and watching along with us. Thank you so much.
Ashley, just before we say bye-bye, Rupa.
Thank you.
Rupa, we welcome Rupa. He's showing his work. Hang on. Rupa met.
Thank you.
There. Oops.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying this. I just
for the first time, Rupa sharing.
And
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow. That's amazing. See, Sabina, you're a really good teacher. Rupa was able to
Mhm.
follow along. I love it.
It's wonderful.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Love it.
By the way,
Fantastic.
Perfect
we
now.
all love Sabina's voice. So if you ever want to like fall asleep to her voice, she has an Instagram where she speaks German and does demos. So I might secretly listen to those sometimes.
Yeah, because she's calming, soothing.
Yes.
That's
That's her
true.
nurse's voice.
All right. Well, tomorrow we have an amazing artist coming and really excited for everybody to come and meet him. And so we hope to see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
See you
Sure.
tomorrow.
See you
See
on the
you.
plane. So
Thanks
I
for
cannot
coming.
join
Bye-bye.
you.
See you in
Bye-bye.
Australia.